Have you ever found yourself a little confused about female anatomy? Maybe you've wondered what's really going on down there during intimacy, or maybe you have a vulva yourself and still aren't quite sure how everything works. Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about female anatomy in a clear, engaging way. And make sure you stick around until the end, because we're also going to unravel the mystery of the so-called G-spot and what science actually says about it. Let's start at the very beginning, development in the womb. For the first 8 weeks, believe it or not, every fetus looks the same when it comes to genitals. At this stage, there are no penises, no vulvas, nothing that looks distinctly male or female. Instead, there are two simple structures, the genital tubercle and the urogenital sinus. These are the building blocks. Around the 10th week of pregnancy, genes step in and guide development. If the fetus has Roman 20 chromosomes, the genital tissue develops into female anatomy. If it has XY, it develops into male anatomy. Here's the fascinating part. Because both male and female genitals start from the same original tissue, many structures are homologous, meaning they share the same origin and even similar functions. For example, the clitoris and the head of the penis come from the same tissue. The clitoral hood is analogous to the foreskin. The labia majora, the outer lips of the vulva, are similar to the scrotum. So, while they may look different on the outside, underneath, they're more alike than you'd think. Now, let's talk about the vulva. Everything you see externally is called the vulva. At the very top, you'll find the clitoris, a small but powerful structure packed with thousands of nerve endings. Just like the penis, stimulation of the clitoris is often essential for orgasm. It's partially covered by the clitoral hood, or prepuce, which can slide back and forth in a way that resembles the foreskin of a penis. Interestingly, in some cases, the hood can stick to the clitoris, creating what's called an adhesion, which may cause discomfort during arousal. But here's what most people don't realize. What you see of the clitoris on the outside is only a fraction of it. The clitoris is much bigger internally than most people imagine. It has long branches, called crura, that extend along the vaginal canal, and bull-like structures that swell with blood during arousal, just like erectile tissue in the penis. This explains why areas around the vaginal opening and the inner lips can feel especially sensitive. They're connected to this larger clitoral network. The word clitoris itself comes from Greek and means key, which feels almost symbolic. It really is the key to pleasure for most people with vulvas. During arousal, the clitoris becomes engorged with blood, it swells, and sensitivity increases dramatically, very much like an erection in a penis. Moving downward, below the clitoris is the urethral opening, the tube through which urine exits the bladder. Below that is the vaginal opening, which is a truly remarkable structure. The vagina is incredibly flexible. It can expand enough to allow the passage of a baby, yet during everyday life it remains a snug canal. During arousal, it lengthens and widens, sometimes by as much as 3 inches, to accommodate penetration comfortably. And finally, at the bottom, you'll find the anus. That's why people often say there are 3 holes in female anatomy: the urethra, the vagina, and the anus. Now let's dive into one of the most talked about yet misunderstood areas, the G-spot. First described in the 1940s by Ernst Grafenberg, the G-spot is said to be located on the anterior front wall of the vagina, about 1 to 2 inches inside. Many people describe finding it with a come-hither motion of the fingers. But here's the thing, it's not a magical button that works for everyone. The G-spot is more of a region than a specific spot, and what makes it sensitive is the high concentration of nerves in that area. Right above this region lie the Skene's glands, which are considered the female version of the male prostate. These glands may play a role in female ejaculation, And they're another reason why stimulation in this area can feel especially pleasurable for some people. For others, however, the G-spot isn't the key to orgasm. It varies from person to person. So, is the G-spot the holy grail of female pleasure? For some, yes, it can lead to deep, satisfying orgasms, but for most, clitoral stimulation remains the primary path to orgasm. And that makes perfect sense when you remember that the clitoris is essentially the female counterpart to the penis, designed for pleasure with its dense network of nerves and erectile tissue. Understanding all of this not only clears up confusion, but also helps break down myths about female anatomy. It shows us why communication, patience, and exploration are so important in sexual relationships. Knowledge like this empowers people to approach intimacy with confidence and care. In the next part of this series, we'll dive into female ejaculation and what research really says about it. So, stay tuned for that one. And always remember, your body deserves care, respect, and understanding because you are absolutely worth it.